Hello, 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 and welcome. Hi, I am Sylvia Hayes, and you are watching Good News at Primetime. Today, we're going to have a good show. We are talking about gods. As you know, Easter is coming up this month, and a lot of people are celebrating Easter, the resurrection of Christ. This is the Christian thing that has been instilled in a lot of us. And so everybody is following this tradition of Easter and Christianity because that's what's been instilled in us to practice. And they make Christianity the top religion, meaning no other religion is correct. Okay? It's like if you're Muslim, you're bad. If you're all those other religions, I can't even think of them right now. You're not practicing the right religion. Hindu, Buddhist, all of those religions. If you're practicing those, you're not correct. That is what the Christian people are putting in you. And if you are married to a Muslim and you're a Christian, they want to break you up because of your religion. And that's not cool at all. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. And there is more than one God, believe it or not. And a lot of people, they only focus on one God. That's because the Bible has been written and rewritten so many times, and they take out all of those names of those gods and put them as one. They're one God. Okay? That's the way they do it. All those other names, forget about it. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. And good news. My book, Power Thoughts, empowering you to be successful in life. You got to get this book, AandKProductions.com. You got to get it, AandKProductions.com. And one of the thoughts in the book is stand up for what you believe in, but make sure it's the right thing. And tonight, we're going to see who's standing up and if it is the right thing. And we're going to bring on my co-host, Mr. Reggie Drama. Hey, Reggie, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling real good. Outstanding with all the stuff that's going on around the planet. I'm blessed and highly favored to be here.
Oh, yes, I am too. I'm looking forward to this topic because there's a lot of information out there that we want to share with everybody because a lot of people are walking around with blinders on. They've been living their whole life with blinders and want to make you blind as well. So some of us are waking up and we want to discuss that tonight. Yeah,
you
and
got
so
that pin.
Huh?
Somebody pinched you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just looking around paying attention, but be honest, paying attention to what's going on. The religion, see, I was born and raised a Baptist, so I'm Baptist born, okay? But some of the things that they practice in the Baptist religion, I don't exactly agree with it. So
Right.
even when I was a teenager, there were some things that happened in the Baptist church. That's their culture. I'm going, nah. I was really ticked off when they did one thing, which I won't mention right now.
Wow.
But it's like I was really fired up, to be honest, as a teenager, for them to do what they did. But it's that's their way of doing things. So we have guests
Okay.
who's going to help us talk about all of this religion, because there's more than one religion, and the thing is, the Africans, they didn't practice Christianity. They had another religion and they were forbidden to practice that. The Indians had the sun, the wind, all these different gods, they weren't practicing Christianity, and they lived and they did well, and they weren't trying to harm anybody. They weren't savages as people pretend them to be, but everybody have their own religion and their own belief. So let's bring on our guests.
Okay.
Okay, we have Mr. Kareem. I'm gonna. Hey, Kareem, how you doing?
How you doing? What's
I'm
going
good.
on?
We good, and we got Lady Gap, and we have Bigger. How you guys are doing?
Hey,
What's
how you
going
doing?
on?
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi.
What's up, family?
So we're talking about the different gods. I guess you know there's a lot of different gods. What are y'all
You
opinion
you
on
on you
this?
on you on the line with one right now.
Well, who? You?
Yeah, I'm a god.
You're God?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the
Okay.
maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of the civilization, god of the universe, arm, leg, arm, hand. Even in the Bible, they say that I'm made after his image. I was told, though, by a wise man, just without being facetious, that when you look up in the sky, you only see one sun. So all the religions come from one source. So they can name it something else, or maybe take a longer way through the park to get to that destination, but it's still part of the same family tree, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep. I get it.
Yeah. But I was
So,
always taught being around a lot of Muslims, five percenters, and my grandfather was an ordained minister that you are God. You try to be God like, you try to be godly. You always try to keep your word and be nice. And you know what I mean? Practice positivity. Your good deeds always outweigh your, that's how I was taught.
yeah, yep. The good deeds do outweigh the bad. But you know, the thing is, even though the good deeds outweigh the bad, they will always think about the bad deed,
Yes,
regardless of
nobody.
how
No,
small it is. Everybody gonna think about that bad deed. They're gonna punish you for that small thing you did, and
yeah,
just totally overlook all the good.
Yep.
nobody sees the journey. Like you, all those hours in the gym, they only see where you start and where you finish. So you
Right.
know, and then they like to define you as your as your worst bad deed. That's you. That's who they say you are. But that's not true. You might have made a mistake that day, but you was a totally different person. You know what I mean?
You're right.
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 Yep. I understand. So, I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds, 25 seconds to introduce yourselves and tell who you are. Okay, we can start with you, Kareem.
Uh, I run a small film company with my friends, Non Block, BVI. There's a lot of us. Lane Productions, Tony Robinson Production. We all work out of the same studio.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, ma'am.
And Lady Gap.
Hello,
Ow.
I'm Lady Gab. I'm new to the team to BDL Films. Um, I'm from New York, and it's a pleasure to meet everybody and to be here today.
Oh, okay. Okay, and Bigger.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, tell us. Got 25 seconds to tell us about you.
Okay, I'm bigger. I'm from Albany, Georgia.
Look
I'm
good
rolling
too.
with BLD, BVI, and you know what I'm saying. Pretty much everybody that's affiliated. And I'm a producer, artist. Yeah. Uh, I guess
Oh,
that's about
okay.
it with me.
Okay. So, South Stroll, is he not on?
Oh, my mic. Yeah, it's on.
No, Stroll.
Oh, oh.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Easter is coming up. Okay. What are y'all's feeling? Hey, Stroll. Okay, you want to tell a little bit about you?
Still the Dawn, uh, aka
Okay, y'all got
Choppy.
two mics on at the same time. We're getting feedback.
Um, it's my, it's my, it's my. I'm too close to the speakers. We in the studio.
Oh, okay. Okay. You want to tell a little bit about you?
Show the Dawn, aka King Joffrey, aka Hugh Jackman, aka Wolverine, aka Weapon X. Deli MC.
Okay, I can barely hear you.
Grandfather of it, bro. Can you hear us now?
It's a lot of echo.
We're getting an echo in there. There's some feedback. You got
Can you
two
hear us now?
systems too close together.
Right now. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
That's better.
That's better.
Huh?
That's better.
That's better?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Easter is coming up. What are y'all thoughts on Easter and the celebration?
Yes, sir. Sound is going out now.
Well, I can throw this in there. Brother Bigger, you from
Yeah.
Albany, Georgia. You know I'm from
Yeah.
Albany too. That's my
Yeah, I'm from
hometown.
Albany.
What's up, hometown?
What's going on? You from the Bennett too?
Yeah, what high school you went to?
I went to Doherty. Where you
My
went to
deep
Monroe?
Sympathy. You know where I went. You see the goal.
You went to Monroe.
Yeah, but a lot of my in-laws are from Doherty, so power to the people.
Okay. Who your
And
people is?
what's that?
Who your people is?
Drummers.
Drummers.
My brother was retired. What's your government name?
I'm Carlos White.
White?
Yeah.
Named after the okay. Probably know some whites out there. I know you, but you know, we have to conversate.
But you'll probably know us through the greens and stuff, because there's a lot of us.
Okay, it's a lot of greens. What you know, depends on what year you graduated. But
Right.
I know coming from Albany, and you did bring up the question about Easter, there, Miss Sylvia. But you know, and I know in the South, we grew up with the Easter eggs and the Easter in the air, Easter everywhere.
Yeah,
You know, so I know you all have some comments on that. Even in New York, everybody, you know, wherever we went, that was the deal.
Yeah, that was When you was a kid, y'all went on Easter egg hunts and everything. All like at Old English Park and at the church and stuff like that.
Right.
And but I want to throw this out there real quick before we just go into traditions.
Okay.
But when we take the word God, G-O-D, the big letter G-O-D, no matter where you go, where your entry point is, the definition for that is the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being, the most high.
Most high.
The superhuman being or spirit worship as having power over nature or all human fortune. The perfect and constant embodiment of all virtues, powers, and values, that he or she is the unconditional father or mother of all souls, a deity, a supernatural being who is considered divine or sacred.
Right.
And you know, from that entry point, that puts us into the direction of many attributes of God, like the brother said earlier, being one source, but through different conditionings, we've been taught otherwise. But you know, so we do practices, and those practices are called religion.
Religion is a way of life. Tradition is something that's taught. And
just keep repeating. I hit your pops right after I got off the phone with you. And I literally just called him again just now, but he never answered every time.
I know somebody's got their phone going.
Yeah, religion is a way of life. Tradition is something that just talks through generations and generations. They keep repeating the same thing.
I ain't know what we was doing.
And Easter being one of those traditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know, we in the studio. That's our studio phone. It went off. I didn't know it would pick up through the feed. I apologize about that.
No problem, brother. Yes, we getting this technology right. And as we do it, I know there's different entry points when we look at the creator, the most high, however we call that entity, even ourselves. And a lot of times the higher power, the most high, however we look at it, I think one thing that's happening now, each of us can share our experience. When you think about a relationship with the divine or the most high, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I mean, what do you mean? Because
I
I know
mean,
God is everything. I mean, I feel like I have my personal relationship. I feel like I was made to be who I am. That's what He created. So I'm also being what He want me to be too.
To serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So like when I was coming up in school, they taught us about the Greek gods, you know, Zeus, Apollo, Athena, and all of those. What happened to those gods?
Well,
Well,
when Christianity came into play, you know what I'm saying? They basically,
they died.
you're right.
Monotheism. They need prayer. They need prayer to survive. Without prayer, they die. They atrophy. Monotheism states that it only could be one God. That's why every book they tell you, I'm the one and only true and living God. You can't worship, I serve a selfish God. They have to embed that in you in the religion, so you won't worship any other God. They have to. But I used to do security in a Hindu temple, and he was like, the simplest way. I used to be like, it's all of these deities around the wall, and what do that mean? I asked one of the priests there. He was like, look, man, you see up. That's what he said. You see that light right there? It's only one light. All this other light that you see come from that one light. And when you look at it like that, those is just attributes of God. You have a bunch of gods, but they're all attributes of that one. You could practice a lot of religion, like Muslim only means worshiper of God. You worshiping the same God as Christianity, and Jews worship the same God. But you, I guess you could say you have a different delivery method.
Right. And they focus on certain different things too. You know,
Right.
because you can go in Catholic, they look at Mother Mary, and Baptist, Jesus, of course. You have some that just look at the birth. You have some look at the death.
Okay.
Right.
But
So what God do you believe in, Miss Sylvia?
you know what? It's like this. I was taught about the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. But I don't really know. I'm not stuck on anything, because when I found out that Mary wasn't a virgin, just doing my research, that she was not the virgin that the Roman Catholic pretend her to be. That changed a lot of things for me. Because a lot of people say, how can a virgin give birth to a baby? But then in my research, I found out that Mary was raped by the Romans, and she got pregnant. And her uncle, which is Joseph, married her to keep her from being stoned to death. So when I found that out, and when they say he touched her not, that's because that's his niece. Why would he touch his niece? So when I found that out, it's like, okay, what else is not real? And then I remember being taught about all of those different gods, Zeus and Apollo and Athena and Hades and all of those other gods. It's like, what happened to those? And then today when I was talking to somebody, we always say they use Satan and the devil. That's Satan. What's Satan's name? What their other name they call him?
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Oh.
Yeah, and I used to think Satan and Lucifer was the same person. Okay, and then somebody enlightened me today that Satan was actually the son of Lucifer. So it's like I'm existing and I'm learning and I'm not I'm not focusing my attention to say, this is it. I'm not doing it. I'm just open for experience. That's what I'm doing. But I know there are spirits that exist, because there are spirits that guide you and lead you. So if that's one of those gods, then they still exist. Because, they still tell you things. They still look out for you. And then I found out that there was a god when they rewrote the Bible, instead of saying the different names, they put it all as God, 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 and a lot of the gods were females. But they took that name away from them and just put in God, God this, God that. Then you think about some of the things God did, and He's supposed to be a merciful God and a good God, but then some of the things that happened wasn't exactly good and merciful. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, one of the things, and I think this is always an interesting conversation. I've had many conversations with many different people. When we talk about our entry level into however you believe, if I talk to a Chinese, he really don't have to bring nobody up but Chinese people. If I talk to an Indian or from India practicing Hindu, he or she doesn't have to bring up anybody else. One of the things that has happened to us in America, because America ignored every practice that we observed. They indoctrinated us through tradition and torture to go the way in which they believe and the way in which they would put us into. And when you look around the world, I'm just going to call out some religion: Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, Shintoism, Zoroastrianism, Taoism, Confucianism, Baha'i, Chinese folk. There's a whole lot of different. It's over 1 million terms for religious identities. Now, so here in America, if you look at our entry point to religion, was based on what the slave master taught us.
Yeah, and then too, it was the Romans that did the Bible.
That's why that was the only book that you could read during those
times. How can you trust your oppressor? How can you trust your oppressor? I'm just saying, after they oppress you, they're gonna give you the means to get back,
to get free.
You really, freedom and liberty is two different things, right? Liberty is to break the chain. Freedom is a whole other ball game.
Yeah. Ooh. But I truly too believe that those books are stories of the age to align you with astrological signs as well, like Jesus, his birthday, the resurrection story, the summer solstice, the winter solstice. Yes, Jesus was born during the summer solstice, but in the Bible they say his birthday is during the winter solstice because the sun comes to its lowest point on the 23rd, and on the 21st, and it stays for 3 days, and then it rises up to the center.
But in order to, like he said, to indoctrinate the people, they had to include the holiday that the people would celebrate.
Yes,
and then so they overlapped them on top of
yes, because one worshipped Saturn, and then some worshipped the sun. You understand what I'm saying? So the pagans that saw no matter what they do, they can crucify these people. They can send them to the Inquisition. They still gonna worship Christ. So that's what the term, you can't beat them, join them. They changed the Sabbath from Saturday, from worshiping Saturn to Sunday, worshiping the sun god.
That's what the Jesuits. That's the Jesuits. Because we all know that the Sabbath is on a Saturday.
Yes,
everybody.
In school, they teach you. They say the days of the week. The teacher tells you Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sunday the first day of the week.
Sunday is the first day.
Saturday is the last.
Yes, but they give you the truth. It's up to you. Just like the astrological symbology and the birth story, they call it, because Horus had that story. Mithra,
Hercules.
A lot of
Buddha even got the same story.
Exactly. Krishna has the same story. So it's a story to be in line with the age. In the Bible, when he died, he said, "I'm gonna come back." And I'm gonna be with you to the end of the age. And when I leave, look for the water bearer, he said. And the water bearer is only the age of Aquarius. That's what we're in now. That's why they say another Messiah is gonna return. It
goes backwards.
Yes.
It doesn't go forward.
Just like when Noah came off Mount Sinai. He had the tablets, the commandments in his hand. The people was worshiping bulls, and he threw the commandments at the bull to end the age of Taurus, and then he blew the lamb's horn. And now he's in the age of Aries. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all astrological. They giving you these stories for laymen, but those that know. And once you know, you cannot not know. That's what Nietzsche said.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of things in the Bible I don't exactly agree with. And one thing that particularly sticks out is when they're saying that if your child don't obey you, that you tell them to do something, they disobey you, take them to the elders and let them stone them to death. You know,
Yes,
when I saw
yes.
that, it's
That
like,
was practices. That was practices.
You know
But
what I
that's
used to do?
practices of the age. That's the same thing. That's
yeah,
something they did. Just like when he was getting ready to kill the woman, and he said, Jesus said, I will kill you with, I'll kill her with y'all. He without sin cast the first stone, meaning kill her. But nobody threw their rock because everybody there had a sin before. You
yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am.
I had to, I
But
had
you
to say
know what?
stuff
Some
like
people
that.
are just Bible diehards. You got to live by the Bible. You learn by the Bible. You don't live by it.
See, I'm still in that, Miss
Yeah,
Sylvia. I never heard it presented in that manner.
Well, you learn from
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well, again, because now we are free to study on our own, and when you start
Yeah,
studying on your own, one beautiful thing about the internet, this little thing, it has put all of us to search for more knowledge. Even when you talk about Easter or the Immaculate Conception, you look at Horus. There are over 12 others. The Aztecs practice. Many cultures in what we call the African or Kemet culture practice some form of or identify somebody with an immaculate conception. And one of the things that happened to us
Very
as
nasty.
captured Africans over here in America, whatever our slave master believed, that's what we were taught. Prior to 1930, most blacks or Africans Americans in America had no identity of what Islam was.
Yes, Islam only lasts for existed for what, like 1600 years now,
But
right?
but we had no knowledge of it until
On this side of the hemisphere.
on this side of the globe. Right.
Yeah.
It's already been doing its thing for hundreds of years, but we just got knowledge of it. So a lot of things,
Right.
because they did not want us to know those things and empower ourselves,
yeah.
they taught us traditions that impeded our ability to even worship a creator on our own
Yeah,
terms.
and the thing is, you know, in Africa they had their own religion, and when they brought them over here, they were forbidden to, practice their own religion. Christianity was pushed on them. Lady Gab, you have some information on the African religion. Let's hear what you got to say. You got okay.
Crickets. Oh, man. Crickets.
Here she
Crickets.
goes.
That's you right
No,
there.
too close, so I had to move.
What's up, Queen?
Hi, I don't know too much about it. I just learned it myself. And it's called Ifa, and it's towards the African tradition. They have also they call the gods Orishas. And I just found out who my mother and my father was. My father, Orisha, his name is Shango, and my mother is Yamaja. And when you do different research and find out about them, you'll see that they have different gifts. Each one was made, like my mother, she was made from something. It's they have different, like, and it kind of goes back to our American traditions with the Bible, like with Yemaja, she was born from, like, I read one story, she was born from the man's rib.
Exactly.
Yeah, so he took a piece from his rib, but they were in the ocean, and she
But
gave
listen how
the
symbolic those African stories are to the Bible, or
right,
the ancient Asian stories. They all have symbolism because they thrive from one place. That's what they hide from the people. They
right.
want you to think, oh, he's a crazy Muslim, or he's a insane Christian, because that separation is how you do through divide and conquer. Once you divide, you can conquer. You know what I'm saying?
hmm And
Yeah.
just to sum it up, she gave birth to the whole world. Shango, I did a little bit about him. He was an arrogant god. He was the most handsome god, and he had many wives. Yemaja was one of his wives. So it was it kind of goes with the same Greek gods and the gods that we know. And um it's they also do they actually speak to the spirits. They do different like one with my reading, the gentleman that did my reading, he had these shells with him, and he had like a circle, like a pentagon, octagon, hectagon. I don't know what shape it was, but it was some kind of shape like that. And he was doing his talking in the African language, and he was telling me what I need to do to cleanse, what kind of cleanses I need to do, what offerings I needed to do. I had questions, and the same questions I had, it was I had the question in my head. And then he told me whether it was yes or no. And it made sense, and it felt like it was real, like he knew what he was doing. So I'm a keep doing my research about that. I definitely want to find out more about, and there's different God. There's even Oshun. There's different ones.
Hmm. I found out there was a god named Nike.
90.
Nike.
Nike. I
Nike. Like the
heard,
shoe Nike?
yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, well, I just discovered that one last night.
So, well,
Nike,
let me
the
ask you
word
this.
Nike comes from, if you ever seen the movie 300,
Ooh,
that
yeah.
story of 300,
300.
when they won the war, a man he ran 26 miles back to their home, and he said Nike, that means victory, and he died. And that's why the Olympics to this day is 26 miles. That's what they run. You know what I'm saying? That's where
Mhm.
that word Nike is derived from. If you ever
Yeah.
look at the old movie, the movie 300, we just talked about that earlier. Yeah, fact.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, the
Let me ask y'all
like you
this. Let
say,
me ask y'all this. Do y'all think tradition is wrong or right?
I think tradition is a generational curse,
Uh-huh.
because the laws of nature states that everything must change and evolve.
Right,
Traditions
right,
are also
exactly.
made
There's
to be
nothing new under
broken
the
as
sun.
well.
That's what my grandmother used to say.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a half truth. Every truth is a half truth. Every lie is
Uh-huh.
a half lie. So
Right,
Or maybe
right.
it's just the truth of the age.
right, it's perception. I mean, how you
So
perceive things.
even when we do our research, what other people think, and the things that we read and we recite, when we find out that in actuality, God created everything to be a part of nature in some kind of way.
Some
So
kind of
if he created you a certain way, and that's how you live, then you actually being for what you created for, right?
Yeah.
exactly.
Or do you
That's your
turn around and
purpose.
recite something you read out of a book or whatever because really you wrote the truth in your heart?
Right. That goes by making
I
the
mean,
right choice,
I'm a
making
true
the right
believer that God
decision.
don't make mistakes.
I think everything that happens was already
Exactly.
sketched
My
by
yeah,
the
that's the
original
point I'm making.
architect, the one you could call him God, Elohim, or he has as many names, was only one source. So
Right,
everything was stated by that. I think that's just my. I don't
right,
know. I don't have any fact to back that up. That's just
right.
my
Because
opinion.
Nobody does.
I can easily
That's the
recite.
eternal question.
Nobody does.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, I
That's
can
the
easily
eternal
recite
question.
what I
We have
learned
a
in
theory.
school or what I
Yeah.
was taught or anything like that. And to me, that's a form of tradition. But if he made me to be a messenger, and that's what I felt in my heart, then that's what I do. I don't know where I'm getting the words from, but speaking the truth to me is everything. You see
Right.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if it's in you,
Think, think
that's what
about
he
think
created
about
you
this.
for. But
If your
anytime I
father
go
if your
somewhere, I
father
gotta
did something.
I got
I'm
when
sorry.
they telling me I gotta eat this or be a certain way or be that. How do I know he didn't create me to be the way I am? Because I can't
Right.
do nothing but be Carlos, and he created the Carlos.
Right. Well,
So
one of the things, and this is critical when we look at religion. That's a European or colonizers type concept.
a
That's
title.
exactly
Either,
what it is.
It's a
yeah,
title.
That's what they
Exactly.
use
to
to
shape,
colonize.
It's a romantic
right,
language.
yeah,
It's one of the
Right.
right,
romantic languages.
Right.
That's a tool they use to colonize.
They use to
right,
colonize.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They categorize, but you know what I'm saying? God, I
Columbus
know
is big.
he didn't get nothing no title. It is what he made it to be.
right,
You see what I'm saying? So I can easily be like, you know what I'm saying? I can run around and say I'm Baptist, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm this and that. All that got a title. Why it just can't be a creation of God?
Right.
It's both.
right.
Cause
See, to
And
I know people they
be
be going,
Muslim,
are you a Christian? And if you're not a Christian, then they're gonna look at you in a certain way.
Don't
You
care.
know,
Right.
it's like, no, I don't. Because for one, when you say you're a Christian, they think you're supposed to be holier than thou or something like that, and you don't make mistakes. Because I know one time somebody made me upset, very tip top upset, and I
Not
called
you,
him
Miss
a couple
Sylvia.
of coarse words. And he said, I thought you were a Christian. I'm going, I didn't tell you that.
See,
You know?
see,
Yeah,
we
because I don't go around saying, yeah, I'm a Christian,
right.
because no,
But
I'm
see,
a
the
human being with feelings. I try to treat everybody right.
right,
You know,
Right.
but
because even
I'm
even
not
if you
labeling
decide to go,
myself that.
even if you decide to go by the book, even if you decide to go by the book, whether it's the Holy Kitab or the Bible, as they say, which is the same thing. I feel like when you look like what it is, the scripture of John and all that, when they was talking about Jesus, the last thing they said, anything that come in my name, don't follow it. So I know that in their belief or whatever, he didn't say, you know what I'm saying, we Christians, we Baptists, because if that the case, he would have said that at the end, right?
right.
So why would they put titles on everything? Yeah, you're right. They trying to categorize that, but God ain't never gave a title to nothing.
Right.
nothing.
Right? I wouldn't think so.
It's
Well,
control.
Okay, can you
Yeah, that's a tool.
if
That's a
you
tool.
can
I
show
think. I think.
That's
I think. I
control.
think. Really anything though, because if you
right,
don't have knowledge of the things you're doing, you know what I'm saying. Then you. How can I say? You aimlessly lost. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
because the name Christianity didn't come around till you got what to the apostles after Jesus died. After he told them anything from my name, don't follow it. They
Yeah.
decided to go ahead and labelize. They said we Christian. They come in after Jesus was crucified in the Acts and so on in the letters when they got locked up and everything else. And you know, that's where you start seeing a lot of contradictory too.
I
well,
feel like with anything that we do though, because it's a story of yin and yang. Like dual
Exactly.
purpose.
Mhm.
In
Damn, we
order
got
to
that.
in order
Mhm.
to have extreme happiness, you got to know what extreme sadness is. In order to
Right,
go down the block, you got to know. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Nothing
were
like.
saying before, you have to
That's right.
have that balance. You know, in
right,
order to have this extremely handsome male right here, you got to have a queen like Gap, or you know what I'm saying, or Miss Sylvia.
right.
Is a you get what?
Balance.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah.
yeah. And when you think about it, now prior to whatever form of colonization, there were practices. Even the name Africa is not named for the people.
That was
Right.
named by
Correct.
Cicero.
That,
It was
you're right.
given a name by Cicero.
That's a
It's
European.
actually
The French.
12
Right.
tribes.
Yeah.
It's
The
actually
Yeah.
French, when
That's
he
a
12
came out,
tribes.
once he
European.
being
You got
African,
Judah,
it's
you
named
got
Africa.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Right.
But the continent of Africa
It's
was
a
named
French.
by Serpico. He colonized the top of Africa, like where French Montana from. It's Morocco. He colonized Morocco, and then he said, when you seen a Moroccan person, they say he's Afro. You know,
Mm.
it was Africanus. He conquered Africanus, and that's where the name Africa comes from.
But
That land wasn't there.
yeah, before that, because you look at us as a people, like the sister said, if you can go trace your Well, we were not allowed to do that.
That's how I'm really
Fact.
Under bondage, and now as a people, we're starting to awaken ourselves and discover the power that's already in us. It's not in the cross, it's not in a medallion, it's not in a star, it's in us. And those were things that our ancestors had, but those were suppressed in order to control them.
But you know what? What's so bizarre is that they gave you the truth, but we wasn't intelligent enough to decipher it. They learned the truth from us, took it, colonized, and then gave it back to us. But they only gave us a piece of it. I mean, they gave us pieces of it.
That's after they mentally mangled us.
Yes.
And then gave it back.
Yeah, they gave it back. Like when they gave us that book of slavery, wanted you to learn that. Right. That was the truth. But if you're looking at it from a coloner's perspective, then that's all you're gonna get. If you can't understand this book is astrological, and everything that's inside this universe is inside me, then you have a whole different perception. They fed them a perception of servitude
because they control history. They rewrite history.
Yes.
Right, because
if you look at it, it's no black people past 1100s. You don't hear about we don't even exist past 1100. So only when slavery came in, black people got on the earth. That's thing. So they're the controllers. They're the controllers of record. They're the controllers of record. So that's what's happening, and they whitewashing the records.
Yes. Think about this. If you ever have a chance to go, I look at a lot of documentaries and stuff like that. But if you ever have a chance to go to Cairo, to Egypt, a lot of that stuff on the wall is real. It's true. But when you look at it, if you look at it from the point, you have people with dark skin that's enslaved, and then you have the people with the lighter skin that's the rulers and the
heads and the law.
But when you look at it from the reality, which is they came in the 1900s and painted those walls. Everything that was brown, they painted red or white, and everything that's white, they painted brown. So now that's called the story of the Renaissance. They're giving you the Renaissance story, so they flipped it on us. So now you look at it.
So it's not even Africa, a Nubian brother. Yeah. Not even Africa, Nubian brother.
Yes. Listen, you ever heard the term that says your biggest haters is your family?
Your
That's where that comes from.
What?
Your family.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, because we don't. That's oblivious to us. Because we don't come from that. But believe it or not, that happens in a lot of situations where the people, your strongest enemies and haters are the people
that's close to you. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they took the time.
We couldn't fathom that, Miss Sylvia. You know, this is our family business over here. So that's outrageous. They say blacks can't stick together. We be together every day for the last 30 years. I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
Well, again, that's a European concept to divide. Are you guys familiar with Ethiopia or Haile Selassie?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now Haile Selassie. Yes, Haile Selassie, Ethiopia and Haiti are the only two countries. Well, Ethiopia, defeated the colonizers. Now Haile Selassie traces his roots all the way back to King Solomon. He got
because King Solomon is the one who gave the Ark of the Covenant to Ethiopia.
To Egypt,
and Queen of Sheba was we have knowledge of that.
King Solomon.
And they
with the throne
they stole it. When you look at and I know this comes from studying some Mr. Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, the black man has no date. The date starts.
Well, what they tell with Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that there's no beginning and there's no end.
No end, right?
Because, like the man said in the beginning, we gods.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't know it. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
We've been hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Sidetracked. Well, one thing I have to give everybody that's here, and that's encouraging, that you seek. I began to seek. I think it was in the 80s. I grew like in Albany.
Yeah.
I grew up Baptist.
Right.
Okay.
You from Albany too?
Yeah. I like brother Bigger. Yeah.
Like Mr.
I
White.
know his folk. Yeah, I got to know his folk. But the
Yeah.
first time I came back home with a different practice, my folk couldn't deal with it. I knew about Catholics. We spent some time over there.
Yep.
I spent some time with brothers with the Nation of Islam, some Scientology. I even did some Buddha and practices with different people from different practices. And when you get to see different people practice without restrictions, that pushed me to understand or understand that our people, prior to certain years, we were forced to behave and learn a tradition. Now, other people had the opportunity to embrace it on their own. See, it's nothing. If you can embrace it on your own, you decide that you're going to make your birthday a celebration without somebody making you do it. Whether it be Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving.
Right. Because
all these practices.
All that became business.
Right, yeah.
All that became a business.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's always a pleasure. I love you, Miss Sylvia. I love y'all show. But we was in the middle of a recording session.
Right.
When y'all, you know what I'm saying? And the person's still here waiting for us to finish handling our business. But I love it. When the next show comes, when can we tune into the next
before you leave?
Yes, I didn't hear you. What you say?
Well, drop something on us, a little tidbit of wisdom or something before you, if you got to leave, what you got to share.
You said from music, from rap?
Fine too.
Oh, I'm part of the radio station, so I'm gonna let them have it.
Okay. Well, I mean, just some awareness that you want to leave with the audience.
I was reading a magazine, and it said, when God gives you trouble, then He loves you. And now at first I didn't get that. It kind of boggled me. But then I thought about it. If He's spending the time to even give you the attention, that means you special. Okay. To build on that, you want to roll on. If you do what you always done, you're gonna get what you always got.
Boom. Yeah. I've heard that one.
Hey, we can say that's first BLD Films. You see, we can create our own tradition.
Okay.
Right. In fact, they creating traditions and changing history. We're gonna change history right now. Miss Sylvia gonna be president in 2024. I'm Right. We changing history. I didn't vote with Joe Biden. I vote for Kamala Harris. I vote for Miss Sylvia. At least we know. At least voting for you won't be voting for the lesser evil. Exactly.
Whoa. And plus, she got power thoughts.
And she got power thoughts. So all the people that, if y'all listening, make sure y'all check out her new commercial she's selling her book. Make sure y'all check that out, and make sure y'all go check out my man Mac Burns' new CD out of the studio right now. It's on YouTube. It's on that Piff. It's called Bars Open Volume 1. So all the people, if y'all listening and y'all got to this point, please go check that out and make sure y'all tell them Bigger. I know you got stuff going on.
Got a lot going on. I mean, pretty soon you're gonna hear that new Kareem Jamal. You're gonna hear that new Queasy Dub. You're gonna hear that new Business. You're gonna hear that new Mac. You're gonna hear that.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of stuff in the working. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all get that. We rep that over here. Tell them Miss Sylvia, you see what we rep.
Yeah.
Power thought.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure y'all rock with my queen.
Yeah.
My OJ. But we gotta go. I ain't trying to cut it off. I know y'all we having a blast. I'll be on her all night. And I gotta get to my man.
Yeah, well, we had 8 minutes anyway left for the show.
Okay. Thank you for real. We can finish the 8 minutes. Let's finish the 8 minutes. I'm gonna give y'all something to think about.
How about this? This is modern stuff now we could talk about. Modern day states, I just saw the other day that our president asked Congress for $10 billion to help Ukraine. And he approved them for he got approved for $6.8 billion. How do y'all feel about that? Why do we have to take our money? Because we are taxpayers. Yeah, we pay tax. Everybody pays tax. Even bums pay taxes when they buy their liquor or whatever. So why should we have to pay for a war that we don't have nothing to do with? And why did our gas prices go up? And we have to deal with inflation. Yeah, inflation because of a war that doesn't concern us. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, and Brooklyn, New York. I was taught to mind my business.
That's a good question. I don't know why things have to go up like that. It didn't make sense to me either. But the food, I can see that because the truckers are not delivering the food, and a lot of farmers weren't making.
So say that. Why is the gas prices affected though? Because Ukraine we don't get gas from Ukraine.
Miss Sylvia, I want to follow that question too. Why they didn't do that for the black people, but they doing that for the white people?
I want reparations. I want reparations.
I mean, because we had several disasters and wars with black people involved in it, and they didn't get none of those.
We got pandemics
corridors or reparations or help or aid or billions. Definitely not billions. So I'm just saying, and they fighting their own brother. Why we got to be involved in that?
I don't know. You got it upside down, Kareem.
Sorry about that.
It's powerful anyway. It's still powerful.
It's still powerful. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought because for when you mentioned reparation, we were supposed to be getting 40 acres and a mule.
Oh,
yes, I'm waiting for mine. I'm still waiting. I still expect that.
I want mine.
What?
Yeah.
Guess
Yeah.
what? Those slave owners got paid because they lost their help.
Yeah. Hey, so that means in nowadays terms 40. You know what 40 acres in a mule? I just priced an acre of land in Kanye because we was trying to get an acre of land to do a paintball. An acre of land in Kanye is $1,200. 1,000 is $1,200. This is $1,000. So 40 acres would be $40,000 right now. And now we ain't got no mules, so a mule cost would be. That's a small. I need a small car with that.
Hey, that's an Escalade.
The retro interest.
Oh, the retro interest.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
That's how they do. They be like,
because they made that deal with us 200 years ago, so they got to put the interest on that.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah. I'm putting the tax on that. I'm putting the tax on that.
Tax on that.
Hey, you guys asked why the food is up, why the gas is up, and why black folk ain't getting no $10 billion. Capitalism. It ain't no profit in that.
Ain't no money in that.
Ain't no money in that.
We are the consumers. Without us, they don't have.
Right. They don't need to give us.
We're the number one consumers in America.
That's why they can't wisen us up. We're 12 to 14% of this country, but yet spend half of the deficit.
We the third largest country in the world. Black people in spending capital per capita.
Think about this. In our community, money only stays 30 minutes. And Jamaicans community, if they have their own community, it might stay a day, a couple of days, a few weeks maybe. But Jewish communities,
16 times,
20
times.
It's like 90 times. It's like 90 times. They money stay in their community for about 60 to 90 days. You understand what I'm saying? Our money stay in our community for 30, and then every culture tries to get money.
Because every culture is in our community though, and they don't allow us to get our own. When the last time you seen a good black store? For real.
No, think about it. You got Chinese food. You got anything you name is not owned by us.
And our community.
Right.
That's right.
They want everything. Even if you try to own it, they want to buy it from you.
Yeah, once you get it to a level where that they think it's respectable, they either gonna buy it or try to take it. That's their job.
Or they burn it down.
That's an option. That's an option.
Yeah, write it down or find a way to put you in jail so you won't operate.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
See, I've been bamboozled, led astray, run them up. Plymouth Rock ain't land on. We ain't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on.
Hey, but one of the things in closing, I know one thing as a people, we are spiritual anyway. You don't have to tell us to worship nothing.
Right.
Now we've been forced to worship the identity that they had over here in America, a confused country. And we thought everything they did was right. And it was based on capitalism and money, taking over, not respecting nobody. Well, as a people, we are spiritual beings. And so no matter what faith you share, that's one of the things that we do have in common. We don't go out fighting people trying to take over their thing because we think that they're heathens or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
What we got a beef with you is about something other than your belief system. So but before you guys go, tell us a little bit about, are you guys working on some things over there at BLD Films? What are y'all doing?
We trying to get right, man. The sound.
Uh-oh, they cut off.
The sound wasn't working.
Okay.
Yeah, they disconnected. So y'all want to tell us a little bit about BLD Films?
Oh, you don't disconnect?
Yes, he disconnected.
Yeah, we need a black superhero. What y'all working on?
Man, we're working on some new stuff, man. We're gonna hit them. I mean, we're gonna have so much music that we ain't even got to do nothing new for the next 5 years. So when we releasing with a catalog. We releasing with everything that we got. It'll be some dropping probably. Oh man, probably every 6 months the way it's looking.
Okay.
So, and it's gonna be not that music where they ain't talking about nothing. We're gonna have the music where we talking about something. Everything that we do, we're gonna stand for something. And we're gonna make a statement.
So you telling me all this stuff is positive?
We gonna say is our story.
And because what we do is like real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can, I mean, the next man might call it negative, but the way I view it through my eyes, everything that we're doing is positive because that's the reality of everything. That's what I see around me. That's what I go through. That's what I feel.
And that's what got us where we at.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you gotta understand, we are the survivors of the slaves. So we are some really powerful people.
Right.
And that's what they try to keep it. It's not who we are, it's what we gonna be.
Woo! Exactly. I like that.
Exactly. It ain't who we are, it's what we gonna be.
That's what they scared.
And what's positive is we all from the streets. And this saved us to get out of the streets. So I don't see nothing more positive than that.
Word.
Exactly.
That's true.
Right. Oh, okay.
Miss Sylvia, you know we all respectful. We all got mothers like you, so you already know what kind of guys we is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know. So well, it's time for us to go, but we were a little bit enlightened on the different gods because they still exist, whether we all say it's one God or not, but my belief, there may be still several gods running around here, but they just call God God. They only got one name now. Whereas, it used to be Satan. Well, Satan, I think, was an angel. No, well, he was the son, but he was part of the angels, I think, at one time. But there are a lot of gods, and I'm babbling now. There are a lot of gods out there and a lot of spirits. And sometimes you can feel these spirits, depends on where you're going. Because I know, like when I went to Selma, I could feel those spirits in me. So spirits still dwell. You can walk in somebody's house sometimes and you can feel spirits. So it's something is going on. It's not just you yourself. Okay. So and don't knock somebody because they practice a different religion than you are. Don't tell somebody your husband needs to leave you or you need to leave your husband because you're the different religion. That's not right, because you're not marrying a person for their religion. You're marrying them for their love, for the way they treat you, and how good you feel about them. So don't let this religion thing. That's a personal preference. Okay, just know that there are other entities out there and do your research And don't take everything as book value, because that Bible been written and rewritten so many times to change so many things in there to make you think a certain way, and they push that on you, just like they took those Indians that was here on this earth in America all these years. They were here all these years, and all of a sudden the Europeans come over and cut their hair and force them to learn their religion, that Christianity thing. They were fine worshiping the wind and the clouds and the sun or whatever. They were fine. But don't let somebody else push their religion on you if you don't feel it. Okay, it's good to learn, know about a lot of things, but don't let them push you. Okay, and those of you who trying to push that stuff on people, don't, because I know I when I was younger, you couldn't find a bigger Christian. Okay, but I wasn't pushing it on anybody. And if you're gonna push your stuff on me, man, I buck like a wild horse. Just from the fact that you try to push your Christianity on me. I have mine already. I don't need you to push it. Okay, so you let your light shine, and that's good enough for me. Let your light shine, and they will follow you. You don't have to push. Okay, so that's going to be it. Easter's coming up. Think about it. Just learn, and don't forget Power Thoughts. You can get it good. You can get it at A and K Pop Productions. A&K Productions, okay, .com. That's where you can get the book from. Power Thoughts, and it's a very inspiring book. It will inspire you to do well in life, okay? It will help you uplift your soul. It will do so much for you, okay? Power Thoughts, A&K Productions.com. That's where you can get it. And so until next week, we're going to see you and say hello and goodbye. This is Sylvia